And it doesn't make a sound. Okay, we are recording and okay, so first of all, today is April 15th, tax day, I guess. Finalizing, we have Kim in the house, and Kimberly is going to show us how she's using AI Grimm for her school communities, but also just all around business. And she has her screen open already. And Kim, please do share your school communities as well at the end and put it in the chat. I'm going to take those ones then as well, and then we can distribute it. And I'm going to send it out as well to everyone that is interested to maybe looking at your school communities too. So
Okay,
let's go.
let's go. Hi, everyone. So I've been using Grimm since founding back in December of 2024. And we've all been learning and sharing. And my biggest tip is when you're uploading files, have a couple digit code in front of the file name so that when you're doing your chats, you can easily tell when it's picked a file and you actually see those couple digits, you can recall, oh yeah, I took that course or I took this session. It does really help versus having the long file name and then you're wondering, okay, what class was I taking? So I had the opportunity, I was in a community and we had a business meeting, and I was told that I was an ambassador summit leader because of my engagement in this particular person's community. And so that was quite an honor, to get recognized as an ambassador for helping new members come into the community. She was bringing in thousands for a 3-day summit. And so she gave me the idea of creating a community on Skool for engagement, because a lot of us didn't know what to do when we came into school, and you wanted to do something, but you tend to lurk. And once you start lurking, you stay in that habit unless you're forced to level up. And some community leaders will allow you to level up and then earn various courses or various content in their communities. So I decided to create an engagement community. So I used Grimm over a weekend. So this happened on a Thursday. And by Friday, I came up with my idea to search in Grimm. And also, as I'm going back through my files, save important documents and upload them. I tend to just continue in a few chats and I forget to upload my documents. So that's another takeaway. Upload those important documents once they become finalized so that you're not continuing to search. So I went back and forth and told Mike Grimm, which is called Aroma. And I said, I want to create an engagement community for Skool for people who are just joining communities, and how do they level up. So I already had some background content in my Skool, in my Grimm background documents on what you have to do for leveling up. So I will show you some of the start. So we decided that my community's name would be called Skool Navigator Circle. So you're going to see me just use SNC for a while, because this is how I wind up resaving my file names so that they can be easily searched. So I have 2 school communities. I have my Amazing Life Circle, and now I have Skool Navigator Circle. And so I have a lot of chats on the various communities. So it's easy for me to create again, taking that concept of documents, having the short digit code to help you easily find now my chats. So I came in and said, okay, once I got my name, I used Grimm and was going back and forth with her to say, okay, in Skool, I need to set up categories in there. I need to set up a classroom. What should we have in the classroom? What were my key takeaways in getting to a leaderboard, which was more authentic engagement, reaching out to new people as they come in. I would look at the person's profile, see what stood out to me, and then have a conversation with them and say, okay, try to post on a couple items that you're passionate about and to get them to make them feel welcome, because I was in a summit only a couple months ago and I was lost. Where do you start when you join a community that has anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 members? What do you do? How do you go and meet these people that you've never talked to before? And it is overwhelming. And so with my course, I go step by step. There's 8 modules, and we built up in Grimm. We built 56 lessons over a weekend. It was pretty much done in one day, and then I let it sit. I uploaded it, all the lessons into Skool, and I'll show you a couple of the conversations. Naturally, with Grimm, you're going to ask it a conversation. So here was me just asking, um, what kind of categories should we have? And so, based on my past experience in my first community, I do like a victory circle and a community circle so that the members can post their wins in there. And then I had a Q&A. So we went through and went back and forth eventually. And you will go and continue to have conversations because sometimes words are chosen in the group. So instead of having a start here, we wanted to have something funky. So I picked a navigator school journey. So after multiple back and forth, I'm giving you the shortened version. You're going to go back and forth, and until it feels right and is really heartfelt. And we're all passionate people. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in school putting our wanting to learn more. So once I got comfortable, instead of saying a start here, I had Grimm give me a prompt and say, I want a colorful image. Here's our theme. We're all about navigation. And so it came up with this beautiful prompt. And then we had, it added the compass for the navigation. This was going to be a free course because this was my entry point for new people coming into the community to start here. And this was the mention of start here. But the highlight is to really tell a story that the person is going to go on a navigation on how this journey is going to be, how they're going to feel when they go through this. And so let me go back. So my Skool page, I needed a photo that represented the Skool Navigator Circle. So again, I worked with AI Grimm and asked it for a prompt. I took that prompt into our our wonderful image generator, and I just played around with the colors and things like that. But I decided that I liked these circles, and to me, gold represents our self-worth, and I really wanted to emphasize that people are worthy when they're joining a community. So I really liked the laptop with everybody because this was going to be an online course, and hopefully in the future we can do some community group calls to share on those wins that people are having and feeling comfortable in their engagement in in the school groups. So one of the advice I got was to put myself in here. So that was a great idea. So I took this image, I brought it into Canva, and I substituted my photo in the center. And then this became my about page photo, where you're putting your school name on it. You're telling a little bit about what your community is going to do, and then my course name is called Show Up, Connect, and Be Seen. And here was the original photo, and then playing around with Canva, that was the next step. So then I could easily create this back on Skool in my About page. So again, this was just going from various conversations within Skool, within Grimm, sorry. I had probably several steps. And then now, because I'm promoting the community, I've been able to advertise in various communities and get recognized. Because I was on the leaderboard, I won a top 10 all access pass for the community. And then I also won a 3-day pin post, or a 2-day pin post for 48 hours. And that was all because of my engagement. So that was my validation for when I was writing this course. One more thing that I wanted to share was, save your documents. They do look pretty nice, that you could easily cut and paste this into a Word document. So this was just one of my conversations that I shared in Grimm. And for you to see the complete project, so here's my community page. I used Grimm to help me write my About page, to focus on those important things that I want to communicate with them. And I'm currently at 26 members. I have over 111 visitors that have viewed my page, for a 22.5% conversion rate, which is pretty good for something that's just within a couple weeks of being on Skool. And I have a 92% engagement rating with the community members. And that's what I was trying to build. Is not only did I use Grimm to help me build the modules in the course, I wanted to test it and also have members within the community feel comfortable from their assignments. And I work with Grimm to say, this is my thought process. Help me come up with a cute post to get people engaged on that. So I'll share a few things that Grimm helped me do. So here's our classroom that we wrote in Grimm, coming from my ideas. One of my biggest takeaways too in Skool is, I heard a presenter say, always give more in a community than you're taking out. And I put that theme inside this course that I've built. So you'll see a lot of that built in just this entry point of where people should start here. And then you have the navigation course, which is 8 modules with various lessons. After we were building it, the first couple tests with Grimm, I said, you know what? I've taken a lot of classes on Skool. Let's come up with a introduction page, and let's keep that theme throughout all of the modules to say, okay, this is what you're going to learn. So all of the lesson ones is your learning objectives. And then we end with a summary of what you were supposed to learn within that content. And after I uploaded everything by, I think, that Sunday, a couple days later, I went into my Skool, and Skool had reverted to my drafts before I had published it. So I had to go back into Grimm, retake a look at it, and I said, you know what, Grimm, I want to cut this course from 4 hours down to possibly 2 to 3 hours because people don't have time nowadays. Let's make it a little bit more direct. Where can we cut things? And so we were able to accomplish that by making the modules anywhere from 15 minutes to 25 minutes if somebody was going to do it on its own, or if they were going to sit down for the course, it would take 2 to 3 hours in total. And then always we're taught give bonuses. And so I came up with some checklists for people to print off. And then my next upgrade that I'll be working on this weekend, which will validate a price increase, is to take all these lessons and create a PDF. Because some of us are old fashioned and we like to print things. So you can't really print things easily from Skool, and they don't give you that capability unless the host owner adds all of that in. So that will be my upgrade for the course, and create one PDF that'll have 8 modules with all the lessons for people to decide that they can print it or they can view it on their laptop with all lessons without having to worry about going through module by module. Let's see. So the main things that I wanted to talk about is I used Grimm, came up with my concept in one day, executed it by the weekend. So it is possible for you to create a course, make some money, and see the rewards, from what you've created. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
My question is not so much about the Skool, but like, can you give me an idea how you do you said you put a few keywords, no, I think you said key letters. How will you come up with the system? How you do it? Just like you do. Yeah.
I'm a tax person, and I've always been organized with my file names in coming up. So SNC is a shortcut for Skool Navigator Community. In my file names, you'll see here. Let's go. Let me alphabetize. So my other Skool community is My Amazing Life Circle. So I came up with MALAC. My business name is My Healthy Wellness Coach. So I have MHWC for my courses that I've taken in the past. This is the Herbal Academy, THA. I think I have some Rosemary Gladstar files. I just put RG
Okay.
for me to remember. So whatever's.
So you just use something that makes sense to you, and then you just okay.
So
So
organized. That's
I
incredible to
know.
see. This is so beautiful to see. Can I just ask, do you use
sure.
the folders for anything then as well? Do you have like I didn't see. Oh, okay. So you do have folders and you put them in there then.
Yeah, I'm just starting to use some more folders. So earlier today, I put all of the Skool community pages so that I can see them all together. When I was working through the dust off, I was adding various resource files for that I can pull my bio, my business, what it was all about, testimonials, so that it would be there. I have a ton of recipes, so I'm gonna have an aroma share folder for my level 2 certification for aromatherapy and my level 3. So those are just plans to later use those files. But before, when I was uploading my files, I came up with that coding system.
Yeah.
Let me try to go back to files.
You have to click on all files, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was just the way I was bringing in the files, was to add that code. Oh, I wanted to point out. So when you went into your, here, I'll raise it. So now when Grimm tells you these are the files that it used for its source, so I can see that AG, that was, or the MALC, that was from my school community. This chat memory that it had used about me establishing a school community. So it really does help you. I can go to one of my
You got a cheat sheet?
because it's personal. You got to make it from what's going to stand out for you, because what's going to stand out for me is not necessarily going to stand out for you.
Oh, no,
So,
I know. I understand that, but I would have to have like a key or something, because it'd be like if I didn't use it for a while, I might be like, I don't even know what this is. I have to go look at the documents to figure out. I don't know. Maybe I've got some kind of menopausal brain or something. I just don't remember things anymore.
That is
no,
actually a good question, Kim. How often are you in AI Grimm working with it?
oh, every day. Like the other night, I even messaged you and said I went to bed, and all of a sudden I came up with this idea that, okay, I have my pin post for 48 hours in this one community. How can I leverage being seen in that community? Because we just came from a 3-day 3-day summit that was all about being seen. And so what I did was I think one of our weaknesses as school owners is we don't pay attention to those 3 questions that we ask when we onboard somebody. So that's my, just how I got that engagement as my buzz idea. My next idea to share in that community is, how are you utilizing those 3 questions? Are you following up with those people? And one of my questions was, do you want an onboarding call with me, a free consultation? So those are missed opportunities that I've had members in my community for a few months. My other community I set up in January, and this new community is just a few weeks. So there's still time that I haven't forgotten about this newest community, but my first community, I missed opportunities of having one-on-one calls to possibly have aromatherapy consultations with them, maybe some tax, setting up a business with somebody. So my next post in this person's communities is to I took their about page, and I told Grimm, I said, I want to use my 3 questions, and I want to phrase it in such a way about that community it's going to resonate with them, and say, how are you using your 3 questions? But basically the same concept, but written 3 different ways, so I'm not sounding the same way in those communities. And then I'll also leverage it in other communities that I can advertise and free post, and show my broadness, not only getting on leaderboards, but thinking outside the box as a school owner. How can I get you to think about your school community so that you can leverage and offer more things to your members?
Amazing. Yeah. No, this is so well thought out. Let's see if anybody else maybe has a question. Pasita or Sarah, Sandy, Cynthia. Maybe there are more questions coming. You can also type them, if you like.
I was just wondering, because I only really go on the school things that we've had here. I suppose I could do a search. It is international, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yes. Actually, quite a bit of Europeans. I would almost think that, I don't know, but Calvin Hollywood and Evelyn and so on, the ones that have been there since the beginning, it's a very international crowd.
So Sierra, what you'll want to do is go to Discover Communities and then just type here. And Skool just announced that they're adding keyword searches. Now a lot of us are rewriting our about page to include up to 11 keyword searches to have members come and find us a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I have to say, I haven't really explored Skool
Like
much.
if you just
Is it all subscription
if you
based or
just-
is it free?
Oh, you enter into Skool free, and you could easily just type in aromatherapy and look at all those communities that are in aromatherapy. Here's Roxandra's page on the first page. Here's Jean's.
But do you charge people to be part of the community? You don't, do you?
So that's every school community has a choice. When you're creating your school, you can bring people in.
There's some that do charge.
Yeah.
But you don't have to join. I mean, unless it's something you really want to do. So
No, I was just wondering how, because Skool's been promoted as a way to make money.
So-
Is that how does that work then?
So as a community owner, you have a choice of having a free, for members, you can just create a free community. You can do a subscription base. You could do this new category, which is called freemium. So what it does is the first is a free, and the second is a premium, and the third is a VIP option. And then that can offer still free content and offer paid content.
Okay, so basically it's like the Skool community is like a lead magnet. It's free. You get people in, and then you can offer like maybe low cost things
So
that
like
they would buy.
Yeah.
Right. So for this course on the back end, I've set it up that they pay a one-time purchase price of $17. And then I can modify this anytime. So once a person has bought it, they have lifetime access as long as I have the community going. I did try the pro plan with this, but I didn't get enough purchases in the 14 days. So I opted to go to a hobby plan and pay the $9. But I can pay to the $9 at any time.
Yeah, so Sarah, it's basically whatever you want to do, but it can be just you offer a course, everybody comes in for free, and then you have single courses like what Kim just said. You can sell those ones, or you could just sell a low ticket membership, let's say $7, $5 a month, collect your 100 users or members, and then over time you increase your price. Or you can leave it free as a lead magnet and then decide to maybe open up another community. And I think most of us that started, when I started, they didn't have the hobby plan, which was $9. They only had the pro plan, which was $99. And you had to pay that for every single community because they didn't have tiers. But now they offer this all in the $9 one for community owners. And inside of Leads by AI Grimm, you can also see how how to just get started, but Kim has now the navigator on how to get people motivated to engage in your community. I think that it's something to open up a community, but it's a whole different story to actually engage and get them going in your community. And
It's
that is
hard.
something, yeah, it's not I think if you have a system, and Kim, you have something brilliant there, I think. If you have a system to follow and you just say, "Okay, I'm going to post these type of engagement posts, these type of learning posts, these type of what are your win posts," and so on, you can create a system for yourself what works. But in the beginning, that's why I think it is so great to have this community, Kim, is you're struggling. It's like, what do my people want? And the easiest way is often ask them, where are you? What do you want? I can create something. And you see me actually often do this too. It's like, okay, what else do you need? If I know what you need, then I can create this for you. And that's why I was grateful for, oh, I would like to see that feature or this feature. That really helps us to see where you are and what you like. So, yeah.
So Kimberly, you said you created this course to help people with engagement. So you're not charging for this course then?
No, I am.
Okay, that's right.
So you're
That's what I
charging
mean.
$17. So it's free to come in, or is it?
It's free. It's free to come into the community, and you buy the course for 17.
Yeah.
But in the community, I'll go back to it.
So in the community, you offer other things as well on top of the course if you buy the course.
I'm offering you live assignments to practice what you bought in the course.
God, you're harsh.
To build up your leadership. So these are all people who are practicing. You know,
Wow.
they're answering those questions, and they're learning how to move up in a leaderboard.
That makes sense then. So it's a free community, and inside it, you've got things that you offer for pretty much low cost, but then you keep them engaged while they're in there. So if they're in there, they don't have to buy the course, but they can access all the other stuff you do. But ideally, they do the course and everything else.
Right. Ideally, they come in and they buy the course and then work on the assignments. But
so
again,
it's only $17, isn't it? So it's a no-brainer, really.
Right. And so they have the opportunity to practice, or they're going to stay in here as lurkers.
Nice word.
Yeah, they just not everybody is. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
No, which is not the point of joining this particular community. This is meant this school community was just built on selling a course. And as engagement leads, if people want to do group sessions, that will be a premium content that I can offer them. But like Katrine was saying, you have to find those pain points of your community. Maybe these will be fine once they take the course, and they'll go off and they'll do things in other communities. And that's fine. But these are just opportunities that I have to wait for the people to say, hey, I want to take this step. I'm still not ready to engage too much in other communities. How about these group calls going?
Well, it's a good idea because when it first started, or however, when a few months ago, whenever it was, so I think I'm in some groups, but I don't do anything with them because I don't know what to do. And that's the whole issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you want to be in groups. So basically, you have to imagine, that's what I think is the easiest way for me to imagine is, let's say you go to tennis, right? And you play tennis. So when you go to a tennis court, you're not just going to stand around there. You're going to start engaging and talking to people, and you probably want to choose the communities you're truly interested in and you want to participate. Otherwise, maybe don't join the communities. And that happens a lot. You go into a community, you look around, you stay there maybe for a few weeks, and then you're like, you know what? It's not actually what I want. And you leave again. And that's a little bit what you do with hobbies. You try a hobby, you go in. If you like it, you stay. If you don't like it, you go again. And I think they just wanna build this type, of online community, but they're also doing offline events now. So Skool has somewhere, I think, Brenda just did it in Vancouver, other people did it in Berlin, in Stuttgart, and Frankfurt. They are meeting up. So they are
Right.
becoming
In real life?
hybrid.
Yes.
In real okay,
In real
real
life,
life.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So they become a hybrid of online and offline communities. But I think the most important thing is, and Kim mentioned it in the beginning, you want to be passionate about something. Otherwise, you don't have the thrive, I think, to build this community or to engage in this community yourself. So if you're really passionate about tennis, you will see there are pickleball communities on Skool. There are tennis communities, there are horse communities, yoga communities, everything is on Skool. And I think that is a cool thing to just discover and look around a little bit to just see what's actually existing.
Mm.
And sometimes, and Kim, that is a question I actually had. You started out coming to Skool with probably a completely different viewpoint then you just opened up. And I think that is also something to emphasize. Maybe explain that a little bit because you come in for something over here, but you actually end up over here. Is that what happened, Kim?
Well, yeah, primarily I was never in Skool until you created a AI Grimm community. Yeah, many of weren't into Skool until then. You had three different communities, and so we started branching out. And you did a lesson on how to open up a Skool community, and then we had formed it. I had started the Skool communities back when Alex Hermosi did his
Yeah.
100 million, and I took advantage of the $9 hobby plan, and instead of having a 14-day trial, he gave us 3 months. But I sat on it because I didn't feel comfortable being a host, and what content did I want to write? And until I was forced to utilize Grimm more to come up with a concept. So my first community was taking all of my different experiences and my passions, taking my aromatherapy, my recent declutter in the home to share that, my weight loss management, tax and setting up a business for small business owners,
So great.
and photos. So that's why I formed that community called My Amazing Life. What do we want to have in our life? And people come into those different categories, and maybe they discover that, oh, maybe I want to do something with my photos that I didn't expect that would have been an interest because I was focusing on aromatherapy, or maybe I was focusing on my health. And you don't get that experience that I offer in that particular community. I have over 35 years of business experience, and I'm a certified aromatherapist. So I can help others set up their aromatherapy business at the same time
Yeah. What a
without.
good combination.
And so another thing with the Skool using Grimm is leverage, like Katrine was saying. What are the pain points somebody's going to go through? So I said, well, I created this course, but they need the practical area. So I started coming up with assignments for people. And this way is, tell me about yourself. And this comes back to having those questions about their personal questions, something about their business, and something about their favorite. And then I use this first question to lead into a second homework assignment, is to go back and communicate with those who answered on the first post and find out more. So you were first making a post about yourself, and then the second assignment was to go and find a new member and engage with them to
Yeah.
practice on. And then I
Yeah.
keep coming up with fun, questions and post. But you do have to, make it fun in order for you wanting to keep it up. But I do like my naming conventions so that I can see quickly, what are the resources that Grimm is actually using. And you just play with it
Yeah.
and stuff.
You know what else stood out to me was your conversion rate. Your conversion rate of 25% is really high.
Is
That
it?
is
Okay.
basically every fourth person that hits your about page is joining, and that is a really high conversion rate. So normally what you see, especially if you're running ads and so on, there are conversion rates as low as 1.5%, 7%, uh, but 25% or 22%, whatever, this is a really good number. So
Yeah, and I think some of the conversion rate was because of opportunities in other communities that I member, and I'm recognized on the leaderboard already with my name. That when those free sale opportunities come up to promote your community, I take advantage of it. And what I've also been learning is above the line, keep your posts short. People don't want long posts. They don't have time. I even will scroll past long posts because, if you don't hit me with the first couple sentences, I'm moving on to the next.
yeah, it's
But
the 3-second hook almost you see on social media and everywhere else. Unfortunately, it is this way, but that is the majority of people are in many communities, so they really want to scan and engage quickly.
So
yeah,
would that's on other communities though, but like for your posts in your community, it could be a little longer, right? Because you're trying to say something or get them engaged.
you should have a blend. You should have some short posts where people just come in and do like a poll one time. Like I had in one of the communities, I'm doing gifts from A to Z. We've been playing around for the whole weekend. People just come in when they need a break and they'll post on the comment. But that helps me with discovery, because the more that I have my community engaged, and the more that there's likes on my particular post, it's also helping me rank up. When I created this community, it was originally ranked like 4,900, and within 3 weeks I got it down to 2,500. I've been down to 1,900, but there's been a lot of activity in the money category. So
And
now
change
I'm hoping.
at
No,
school as well. I think the changes they just brought out with the keywords actually made some ranking changes as well. So they said the keywords will be fully. I would even not worry so much right now until beginning of May. That's when they settle with all of the search and discovery changes. But Kim, I had one more question actually. What is your next step right now in terms of monetizing on your school community, or how do you imagine how you're going to continue?
well, my other community, my amazing life, my amazing life circle is all free. I haven't converted anybody to premium, and I have a lot of great content that I've already built in AI Grimm and put out there. I have
Mhm.
a full year of journaling. There's monthly prompts that are coming out for
Wow.
weekly as an opportunity. So I just need to announce that and get people, let them know that these courses are out there for them. I'm also also with Grimm, I built an annual plan for my first community to have a theme. So the first theme is all about growth in this first quarter. So from March, April, and May, it's all the content is going to be about your growth in your life and what you can be doing. So some of these things, besides the journaling, is working on healthy habits. So in January, we had hydration, then we had sleep and different things. So I can move that into premium and have one-on-one coaching calls, or I can offer group coaching. I'm also certified on a home compass, is to look at somebody's home and grid it to tell you, let's work on these particular areas where you're finding negative energy or clutter. And it's possibly that there's some things in your past that you haven't dealt with. And you can also add certain colors and remove certain items. Some things that are pottery in your entryway, it stops water from going into your household and naturally having that flow in and out. So there's different offerings that I can offer the community. So that's where I'm hoping to have paid. And then also with this new community is having group coaching. If people are still lurkers and want more one-on-one coaching or group coaching, that's private. The one thing with this community I'm testing is it's a public community. So, posts get, it can be seen by the public. But I'm taking advantage of the AI optimization and the SEO.
Yeah.
But once we start talking about personal things, I will change it to private. But for right now, it's a public community, whereas my other community, since we're talking about health and business questions, that is a private community.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, so good. We've got a few minutes, so let's see. Cynthia, do you have any other questions, or 𝗶𝗺𝗃 maybe? Sarah, Sandy?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Kim, this
Well,
was really cool to see, like an A to Z walkthrough. Was that helpful for everyone to just see what others are doing as well in terms of Skool or AI Grimm and products? Thank you, Kim. Beautiful.
no, this was an honor to be asked to do this and share what I've been passionate about. We've been through this journey with you for a couple of years with Grimm and really finding our place with utilizing it.
Yeah.
The other night, it's like, I don't want to miss this thought, let me type into Grimm, and say, hey, here's this idea, we'll come back to it. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a nice too. And that's where I personally started creating these storybooks for myself now. One is my marketing storybook, my other one is the blog writing storybook. So I have different folders now as well for each of these. And that is also helpful then to just add quickly an URL or add quickly a transcript or something else you come across and you don't want to forget about.
mhm.
So cool. Very nice. Thank you. Any other thoughts, questions? Think no. Good. Well, you know what? We are on the hour. I'm probably going to I'm going to record a video about everything what happened with AI Grimm, the changes we had, all of these little things. But if there are no other questions, I'm going to stop the recording right now. Kim, just quickly, for anybody that is watching the video or re-watching the video, maybe you want to say which of the two groups or both groups, and I will actually point to those ones as well. There were balloons. But
Thank you.
on Skool, where can they find you?
So it's called My Amazing Life Circle and the Skool Navigator Circle.
And the Skool Navigator Circle. And they probably could even look for your name, Kimberly
I will
Amatis.
I will be adding my name into the keyword searches for those two
Yeah.
communities.
Yeah, and I think you can find it already now even, but we'll see. And I will put this in the post as well, both of your communities. So thank you so, so much. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to stop the recording.